If you're a regular viewer of this channel, you'll probably be aware that I have a bit of a soft spot for the Netherlands national airline KLM. You may also know that earlier this year I got married, so for me the perfect start to my honeymoon is of course a flight with KLM from Birmingham to Amsterdam. Welcome to Blake Edgington Airborne.
See you in the skies.
That's Jed Brooks.
Let's get going.
Better.
When booking this flight, I tried to cleverly choose my departure time for a quick and easy airport experience to start the trip. Sadly, I was met with what didn't look like a terrible queue for check-in, but one that took over 45 minutes. It was almost bad enough to make me wish I'd chosen Flybe. Almost. Eventually, the luggage was all checked in and I was in the departure lounge. By this point, I didn't have too much time to spare, but still managed to grab a drink and do some window shopping. I travel from Birmingham very frequently, and even though it's not as impressive as many airports that I visit, there is a good range of shops and restaurants for departing passengers, and the airport has big plans for future development and expansion. One thing that Birmingham does very well is provide great views of the aircraft.
So a very quick trip through Birmingham today due to the long queues at check-in. I'll speak a bit about that later on. But the aircraft is here, so it's about time we head to Amsterdam.
As you may have noticed from the check-in footage, KLM is celebrating its 100th anniversary this year and is the world's oldest airline still using its original name. KLM carried over 34 million passengers in 2018, and around 30% of KLM flights are operated by the Boeing 737, like the aircraft that I'm on board for this trip. This particular aircraft is one of the latest additions to the fleet, and very shortly we'll take a look around the new cabin. But first, how much does it cost to fly on this route? The KLM website is easy to use and features a useful fare finder, enabling you to choose the cheapest dates to travel, and a one-way ticket starts from around £70 on this route. The price is based on a light fare, and to add luggage or greater flexibility to your travel plans, a higher fare class may be more suitable. The last time that I flew on a KLM Boeing 737, I experienced the airline's standard cabin, which was comfortable but maybe a little outdated. Well, as I mentioned after takeoff, this particular flight is on a much newer aircraft, and as you can see, it's a little bit different. This 737 features the modern Boeing Sky interior, which offers larger overhead lockers for storage, as well as LED lights, which with this being KLM were of course blue. Each passenger has reading lights and air vents in the panel above your head, and of course the cabin features a new seat design for KLM, which we'll look at a little more closely soon. First though, it's time for the in-flight service, and unlike many European carriers, KLM include refreshments in the ticket price. For this short journey, the crew handed out a choice of drink and a cake, which is also served with a cup of water. Now it wasn't much, but on a flight of less than 1 hour, you really can't complain, and the cake was much nicer than I expected. I also love the fact that KLM don't use generic cups and packaging. For me, the branding makes a difference, particularly with a national airline.
It's a bit of a bumpy flight today, but it's going well so far. Now let's take a moment to have a look around the seat that you could expect if you fly with KLM on the 737.
As always, I pre-selected my seat during booking to ensure that I could enjoy the views in flight. The KLM seat map also offers both economy comfort and extra legroom seats for a slightly higher price if needed. So what is the new and improved KLM seat like on the 737? Well, we will as always start at the top, where you'll find a rather slim literature pocket which provides just enough room for the safety card and KLM in-flight magazine, Holland Herald. A very welcome feature of this new seat is the addition of USB power, which is conveniently placed, and there is also a coat hook, which is something that I personally have never used. As the tray table is lowered, you can see that like so many modern economy seats, the area at the bottom of the literature pocket is exposed, so it's really not somewhere that you'd use for personal storage. The table itself, well, it's a pretty good size. There's certainly room, as you've seen, for the snack handed out by the crew, and it does offer a little adjustment for smaller passengers, as well as a place to keep your drink secure on a turbulent flight like this one. Looking a little further down the seat now, and here's where you'll find your personal storage. There's room in here for a book or perhaps for a tablet. And finally, the all-important legroom, which personally I found to be perfectly acceptable, and I'd have no hesitation choosing this seat on a longer journey. Here you can see the modern and smartly designed seat, which by the way also features an adjustable headrest. Although this was a short flight, I did manage to spend a little time reading the Holland Herald in-flight magazine, and as I had a couple of days in Amsterdam, I was eager to read about some of the locally produced items featured, as well as some of the places to visit. Of course, being the enthusiast that I am, it wasn't long before I found the KLM news section, and of course the fleet information page to begin planning future flights. Speaking of future travels, don't forget to follow me on social media, where I post updates throughout my flights as they happen. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Details are on the screen now.
Almost there, we've started the approach into Amsterdam. Do make sure to stick around until the end of the video for my final thoughts, but for now, enjoy the landing. And that's it. Welcome to Amsterdam after that flight with KLM. If you're new to the channel, this is the part of the video that I share with you my final thoughts on today's experience. Starting things off in Birmingham, and starting things off with a con. The check-in queues were absolutely horrendous today. However, it wasn't really down to the staff from what I could see. Now, there were 4 check-in gates open for the passengers to check in for this flight. However, the amount of luggage that many of the passengers were bringing was absolutely unbelievable, and it did slow everything down. So it took about 40 minutes or so just to check our bags in. Sadly, that meant I didn't get a lot of time in the airport, but nothing has really changed in Birmingham Airport of late, and obviously I do go through there quite a lot. And then we come to the flight itself. Now, as I said at the start of the video, I am a big fan of KLM, and we were lucky enough to have a brand new aircraft today, just a few months old, with the updated interior. And for me, it was absolutely fantastic. One of the best seats I've had recently, certainly on a shorter European flight anyway.
Also the crew, well, as I usually expect with KLM, they're incredibly attentive, very friendly as well, many of them laughing and joking throughout the service. And speaking of the service as well, it is lovely to get a free snack and drink on board a flight nowadays. It doesn't happen with every airline, and it was really delicious as well. So yes, I would definitely fly with KLM again. I definitely hope to do so in the future, and I highly recommend you give them a go as well if you are travelling in Europe. They also offer some great connections through Amsterdam. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please do leave a like and a comment in the comment section below, and if you haven't already, do hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss a future video. And of course, as always, take care.